Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a special counsel investigating a previous special counsel that was created because of a dossier purchased by Trump's direct political rival, there's a certain amount of partisanship inherent in the Durham probe special counsel. So in my last segment, there's a certain amount of inherent bias or partisanship within the Durham probe special counsel. Sorry, Trump was wronged and set up and framed. So now we're finding out why that took place. Gee, so sorry. If all the evidence points to an insidious plot to set up Trump. That's what Michael Sussman's defense team is saying. They want to depict what they're trying to do is claim that, the Durham probe is introducing all of this evidence and information that makes us out to look like we set up and framed Trump. And that gets conservative media all riled up. And they're always wrong on everything. Sorry. They're not... Okay, the way Democrats think, or morally superior liberal Democrats, the wonderful people, is that if Fox News says something, or Newsmax, or any other station, it must be wrong. Meanwhile, they've obsessed for 5 years over Trump's tax returns, and he's never getting indicted on anything because he didn't commit a crime. All they've believed for 5-6 years is that Trump was installed by the Kremlin. This is a lie. It is not true. It was a hoax perpetuated by Trump's direct political rivals. Now the Durham probe special counsel is finding out text messages, documents, testimony, all of this information showing that the Clinton campaign, the DNC, others conspired to undermine an incoming president. They even engaged in surveillance while he was in the Oval Office. And then you still have this mindless spin. Oh, you see, Madam Secretary didn't do anything. You get like Vanity Fair, others like, proof now that Clinton had nothing to do with it. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, no, it was others. They're the ones who obtained all that information, and it was under a contract during President Obama's administration. This is the lie by omission. Media lies by omission, and they continue to further these absurd hoaxes. And then they say, oh my God, you got to worry about this extreme conservative pundit or that person, and they're giving information that's going to, warp the minds of impressionable conservatives. So, in this recent indictment, for example, the rebuttal was, they were obtaining surveillance of Trump prior to Trump becoming president. See the mentality? They're okay with obtaining surveillance of an incoming candidate as long as it's done within a contract during President Obama's administration. The only problem with that rebuttal is that it happened also within the indictment in February of 2017. Who was president in February of 2017? Na 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 na. Donald Trump. Who is Donald Trump? Okay, what is Donald Trump? So president or whatever, the way Jeopardy runs. Anyway, so you have to ask yourself, why were they engaged in surveillance of an incoming candidate and even continuing the surveillance while he was president in the first month of his presidency at least? You can't say that there was an existing contract. It's within the indictment, the Durham probe special counsel. So when we find that out, people get upset. People get indignant. A lot more indignation than, Trump, he elevated his net worth and inflated the prices of his real estate. This is horrible. Okay? They can't get him on that either. They can't get him on anything because they've made up everything. They've literally fabricated every allegation against him. He's been in public life for 30 years. The Clintons have been in public life for 30 to 40 years, and they have endless scandals, and they just circumvent and media goes to bat, and government officials, and they're like brilliant, absolutely brilliant at getting away with like a lot, okay? And they've taught Mashed Potato Brains and his son Hunter how to do things. But with Trump, 30 years, they found nothing. So they fabricated everything. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe. We're almost at 196,000 subs. So what they're trying to do, and we're almost at 200,000, it's because of you, to my new Patreons, thank you. But what they're trying to do, and by the way, subscribe also to the stock market crash channel. We're still going to, unfortunately, have that devastating stock market crash. We see everything. When I wrote in October of 2021 in the Federalist that the Democratic Party is steering this country towards a stock market crash, that article's below in the pinned comment. From that point until now, we've only had economic catastrophe. They're talking about food shortages now. So hit subscribe to the stock market crash channel. I'll be doing more segments on that very soon. But ladies and gentlemen, you have a STEELE dossier purchased by Madam Secretary, and I want a Clinton-Trump 2024 rematch. Please, God, I pray every day to God, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024, because we need to exercise the demons of that year. We need to actually just put it to bed. We're still living in that 2016 matrix. You might not think so, but we are. Okay, that's why we have mashed potato brains. But anyway, what they did was set up and frame Trump through manipulative, deceitful, conniving, insidious, a series of really horrible endeavors, or, people conspiring, maybe not in concert or unison, but each of these people doing something really nefarious to undermine Trump. You had Michael Sussman being paid by Clinton, lying about it. Now you have text messages showing he lied to James Baker at the Federal Bureau of Investigation to promote the Alpha Bank hoax. Then you have Christopher Steele being paid by the attorneys and the law firm that Clinton was using. So Clinton used a conduit to obtain a dossier, by the way, compiled with help from Russian sources. So there you go with foreign interference. Okay, Democrats were the ones who did all of that, and it's always projection with Democrats. So they would never allow any of this to take place against them, but they went ahead against Trump and did that. And the Washington Post said, gosh, well, it's worth a healthy look. No, a healthy look isn't a special counsel and indicting people for process crimes and convincing the entire country that Trump was installed by the Kremlin. That's not a healthy look. That is a really terrible, insidious propaganda spin. And media just lied by omission for 6 years. That's why nobody trusts media, because everyone understands that journalists are liberal Democrats who became activists through journalism. They don't care about the truth. If they cared about the truth, they would say, my God, you set up and framed an incoming candidate. You cheated Bernie Sanders. That has nothing to do with another country. That has to do with corruption within the Democratic Party. The epicenter of corruption within American politics was the Republican Party 20 years ago. Now it's the Democratic Party. But you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they're saying that, well, all of this information within these indictments, the factual background, that's just going to get conservative media upset. Well, sorry, you shouldn't have. What do you expect? What do you expect the Durham probe special counsel to do? What do you expect? Not unveil and release and uncover and discover all of these nasty, nefarious, insidious things that Democrats did against Trump? That they tried to frame and set him up and purchase information that was full of complete lies and deceitful statements, and utilize all of these different people within government and within media and within within law firms to disseminate dossiers and surveillance and information that's just inaccurate to get government officials to investigate Trump. And to utilize certain government officials who had utter disdain and contempt for Trump, to have these people investigate him and try to just indict anyone within, close to him just for process crimes. I mean, so what should happen? People who watch Fox News shouldn't be upset? You get more indignation from the Helsinki conference, which was a fabricated hoax that got people to be indignant. There's more indignation for the Helsinki conference than under mashed potato brains, under Biden's tenure, the invasion of Ukraine taking place, and there's no indignation there among morally superior liberal Democrats. They put the symbol next to their Twitter profile, and it's all good. Until the next morally superior, symbol that they put next to their Twitter profile to make them feel good about themselves. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. That's also another situation where, Biden could have worked for peace before all these catastrophes took place. Could have simply sat with Zelensky and you-know-who and said, okay, what can we do to prevent all of this? But he didn't do that. He said, gas prices, it's all their fault. Why didn't he work for peace? Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. The Durham Probe Special Counsel is indeed partisan in nature. The problem, however, is that the truth is that Trump was set up and framed. So obviously, the Durham Probe Special Counsel, it will be somewhat partisan. It's finding out a bunch of despicable, things that Democrats did against Trump. So obviously, it's going to get one political side indignant and angry. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right